passionate about young people investing in property. And I listened to you saying, God created land once, and He will not recreate it again, which is a truth.
Yeah.
And you're passionate about saying to young people, start early, start young. Talk to me about the importance of young people investing in property and your advice to them in terms of how they ought to go about it.
No, good point, Trevor. Yes, God created land once. Man is trying to make an effort by reclaiming, filling parts of the ocean to create land. And that in itself is actually an indicator of how precious land is. Now, because the population of the world is increasing daily, okay, just to take as an example, if the world population today is like 7 billion people, and you have X amount of square meters over the whole world, take the number, this total square meters divided by the 7 billion, you get a rate per square meter. If you then take 8 billion, that rate keeps going up. So that's why real estate in itself becomes an asset of note. And any serious investor, business person should have a solid real estate investment. Now, real estate investment by its nature is capital intensive, so it takes time. So the earlier you get into the game, guess what? The better. And you can also start, generally my position is start young, okay? If you can start by yourself, start. If you can't start by yourself, please try and build a grouping of like-minded people and pull your resources together and start. Now, start small. You know, the hyperinflationary environment especially has messed up people in our country. When I started real estate, I understood that you would start off in the high density, Budiriro, Highfield, Glenview, you graduate to Warren Park D, you cross into Maverick, Mount Pleasant, maybe Borodale. But the hyperinflation has created the situations and scenarios where a lot of people jumped from zero to Borodale. 100% okay, as long as you have the diligence and the ability to sustain it. But Pastor Tom always says it's easy to obtain, a lot more difficult to maintain. Hence, when things get difficult, the properties are neglected, they are not maintained, people don't even know when to sell because there's pride of Borodale, and yet the situation on the ground is telling you, hey, my brother, my sister, you family, adjust as quickly as possible. So start small.
The start small, I'll hold you there because you've just said something which I think is important. Because the 0 to Borodale means you've skipped some stages. The 10 kilometers of you walking to school and coming back and all that you did to be who you are right now, 0 to Borodale means you've skipped quite a lot of the discipline that is required for you to sustain and maintain, isn't it?
Yes. I think there's one of the writers who talked about doing your 10,000 hours to be proficient in whatever you're doing. So if you just jump and you have not allowed yourself to build your 10,000 hours as you are going to a point where it almost becomes natural to do whatever you are doing, there's definitely a problem.